Yes, I am wearing frames with no lenses in them. I don't have to explain myself. What's up, you guys? I am back with another video. This is gonna be my top 10 shows that I want to come back on because I missed them and I love them and they left me too soon. So the first show is Cold Case, which originally aired on CBS. It ran for 7 seasons from 2003 to 2010. I really loved this show. It got canceled. Actually, one of the officers, I think his name on the show was Valance. I know his real name is Danny Pino. He is on Law & Order SVU right now, so I'm pretty positive that that show is not going to come back. Missing, which originally aired in 2012 on ABC. It only went for 1 season. Ashley Judd was the star of the show. She plays a CI agent. Her son gets kidnapped, and you figure out why her son gets kidnapped and all this other stuff, and then at the end of the first season there's a cliffhanger, and I don't know why they did this to me, but it's never coming back. It got canceled obviously, but the show was freaking amazing. Anything Ashley Judd does is amazing, but you know, it was awesome. Heroes, which originally aired on NBC for 4 seasons from 2006 to 2010. It follows a group of people with supernatural abilities. It had Hayden Panettiere on there. She's one of the main characters. Hito, one of my favorite characters. He can bend time and space. He was Japanese and he was awesome and I loved him. He was my favorite character on that whole show. It got canceled, but not in the sense where they didn't know it was gonna get canceled, so they kind of wrapped it up. I don't know. I want it back. Merlin, which originally aired on BBC One, I think it's called, for 5 seasons. Obviously from the title you know that it is about Merlin. If you don't know the story of Merlin, go look it up. It had all the usual suspects from Merlin tales. Merlin, who's played by Colin Morgan, had King Arthur, had Guinevere, had Morgana, and just, oh my goodness, and the magic and the saving people and the sword fighting and the diseases and the treachery and the adultery and all the awesomeness. Yes. I did not like how it ended, and I want them to erase like the last 5 episodes of the last season and redo that shit over and then continue on. I love that show. It was just awesome. The L Word, which originally aired on Showtime for 6 seasons from 2004 to 2009. It is a great drama with LGBT based characters. It follows 6 women and I love that show. Stars Pam Grier and Jennifer Beals. She's a baby. I love this show. I was in love with Bette and Shane, which is really ironic because they were the cheaters. Maybe I just wanted to Next is Touch, which originally aired on Fox for 2 seasons. It follows Martin Baum, played by Kiefer Sutherland, whose wife died in 9/11 and now he is left with his son. I was first drawn to the show because I thought that his son was autistic, because he has a lot of autistic qualities. But further into the show and the seasons, you realize in our terms he's probably autistic, but the way the show describes it, it takes more of a biblical, not religious, but biblical twist as to why he is the way that he is. I'm pretty positive that the show got canceled, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really know for a fact that it got canceled because I didn't look it up. But it hasn't aired in a long time, so it's probably canceled. Lie to Me, which originally aired on Fox. It ran for 3 seasons from 2009 to 2011. It followed Dr. Cal Lightman, who was played by Tim Roth. He's the human lie detector. Basically, his group studies microexpressions, and they contract out to mainly the police force to help them see who's lying and to catch bad guys. Yeah, the show got canceled right as they were bringing on another black character. Moesha, which originally aired on UPN for 6 seasons from 1996 to 2001. The show basically just followed Brandy, Moesha's character, and her family and friends and love interests, and it was great and I loved it, and it ended on a freaking cliffhanger, and we will never know who was pregnant. We will never know. That just frustrates me. Survivors, which originally aired on the BBC for 2 seasons from 2008 to 2010. This show was the shit. It was so good. It is why I started watching The Walking Dead. It follows the survivors of a deadly strain of the flu after it wipes out 99% of the population. And of course, if all those people are gone, the government is gone. You know that it's gonna have criminals popping up everywhere. Actually, one of the main characters is a criminal, but the group of people that he's with, they don't know who he is because they're not telling each other who they really are. And it ended on a cliffhanger, and we will never know where he went to in that plane. And lastly, but definitely not least, is Alphas, which originally aired on Sci-Fi for 2 seasons from 2011 to 2012. It follows a group of people with superhuman abilities, aka alphas, as they work together to find other alphas that are committing crimes and doing bad things. They're led by a doctor played by that one guy, and I can't think of his name, but I know he was in Dolores Claiborne. He was the rapist daddy, but he's great in this show. You know, he's not a rapist. I love this show not only because it has people with superpowers, which I have a weakness for, but because of Gary. Gary was one of the characters. He was autistic. He was a savant with transduction, which is basically he had the ability to see all electromagnetic wavelengths and process them just as fast as a computer. He was freaking awesome. He was awesome, and I loved him. And the show is over, and I want him back. I just can't deal. Why do you take things from me like this? So I am pretty positive that a good number of all of these shows that I just mentioned are either on Netflix or Hulu, because I probably was introduced to most of them on Netflix, and then I followed them if they were still on. So yeah, if you guys have any shows that got canceled that I didn't mention, or they're over, like they didn't get canceled but the season just ended because I guess people were moving on and things, let me know what they are. So yeah, that is all that I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below in my belly, and I will talk to you guys later.